Up next, Seth Rollins showed up in the authorities' office. Oh, and by the way, as far as the whole, Brock Lesnar getting taken away by the police thing goes, did they seriously put him in plastic ties?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Do you know how easy those things are to break?
And I thought Lesnar was going to. I'm actually surprised he went peaceably.
Especially because they put them on him in front of him. That makes them even easier to break.
Yeah, I didn't really get it either. Honestly, I wish there would have been more, like, aggression in the escorting out. Maybe I'm asking too much, but, like, pinning Lesnar to the ground and really cuffing him, because he's just, like, that kind of a beast. Taker, I could understand doing it off screen, because,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
if they
know.
would have done that, we wouldn't have been able to get the epic "Don't touch me, don't touch me."
Yeah, that's
from
true,
Brock.
because Lesnar really looked like he was ready to take somebody's arm if they did
Yeah,
violate
yeah,
that, yeah.
and those fake policemen were utilizing the hover hand technique to its best ability.
Absolutely. So yeah, what came after this?
Rollins in the authorities' office talking about how bummed he is that he wasn't going to be involved in the Lesnar takeover.
Oh yeah, I love this, man. I mean, yeah, we had a nice discussion about Seth Rollins' title reign on Battleground Preview and Predictions, and I do agree with all your contentions, but like you and I both explicitly made clear, the problem isn't Rollins, because I just feel like Rollins is gold as a personality, because he's just feigning that disappointment. He's like, oh man, that really stinks. I had so much I wanted to say to Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. Oh well, I mean that's pretty much the tone of Seth Rollins. And then he goes on to ask the authority, would you mind if I, go to the ring and air my grievances anyway? And the authority just kind of looks at him like, dude, whatever. We were kind of done with you a little while ago, we thought. But sure, ring's yours. And then Seth goes and he'll take care of that business later tonight.
Yeah, this was hilarious to me.
Seth's so good.
He is. All right. Let's see here. Up next, we had a Bray Wyatt promo. John, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to let you handle this.
Bray Wyatt said that he's never alone, that he always has his family, that he's this revolution in a world of lies. And, I think he talks some more, probably, tells Roman he can expect more of the same. And then Luke Harper says, anybody but you, Roman. And he does have that patch on his flannel jacket of Roman's eyes crossed out and just the anybody written on it. So, Luke and Bray are back together, and we know Luke Harper is going to face Roman Reigns in a match tonight. In fact, did that come up next, Ashton, after this Bray Wyatt promo, or was that later?
I think it was next. Yeah, Harper versus Reigns was next.
Yeah, and, before I get into the matchup, because I don't want to jump the gun and miss anything, we have Harper and Bray, they come out. Then Roman Reigns comes out, but then Dean Ambrose's music hits, so he's serving as the backup for Roman Reigns. To get into the actual matchup, I enjoyed it. I felt like Reigns did a good job selling, I believe it was the left arm that was being worked over in the match, and I liked how they made Luke Harper seem credible. It's not like Roman Reigns really bulldozed him. Again, he was kind of selling the left arm. It was a weak point, and Luke Harper really hung in there with Roman Reigns. I enjoyed the back and forth between these two. I've always thought that Luke Harper was an incredible athlete given his size and the things he can do. So yeah, I enjoyed the chemistry between these two guys. But ultimately, Bray does meddle in the matchup, and he throws Roman into the announce table, which causes a disqualification. But then what was once a match just breaks down into a full-blown brawl, because Ambrose really gets involved, and he's taking it to both guys, but then the numbers game catches up to him. And then when it seems like Ambrose is really going to be put down, he starts to fight back a little bit, gets the rebound lariat on Luke Harper, got caught in Sister Abigail by Bray Wyatt, but before Bray could execute it, Reigns comes in with a Superman punch, sending Bray to the outside. So Roman and Ambrose, where I thought they were both going to get laid out, they stand tall, so Roman got a little bit of his momentum back from his loss last night at Battleground. But my question to you, Ashton, is do you think they are either going to do two singles matches, Ambrose versus Harper and Roman versus Bray Wyatt 2, or do you think we're going to see a tag team match at SummerSlam, Roman and Ambrose versus Wyatt and Harper? Or neither?
No, I think it's going to be a tag match. I think we're going to get Harper and Wyatt versus Ambrose and Reigns, and I think it's going to basically I think they might even try and build it up as 2/3 of the Shield versus 2/3 of the Wyatt family.
There you go. That works for me. I think it'll be great seeing, Roman and Ambrose tagging against, a team the caliber of Brian Harper. I think it could be a really solid bout on the SummerSlam card, especially if given time. And you know what? I just think it's great seeing Harper kind of back in the mix with these kind of, caliber players, even though he did, not too long ago, it was only a few months ago, he got out of that program with Ambrose. So all these guys are really familiar with each other. I mean, Ambrose is incredibly familiar with Bray Wyatt. Roman Reigns is getting there. So I like all the elements, in this, tag match that is presumably going to happen at SummerSlam. But even if they go a different route, I just like that all these elements are kind of colliding into one. They're sustaining my interest. I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but hopefully it lasts through SummerSlam, so we'll see.
For sure, yeah. I don't know if I'm really super into this, but the in-ring work's going to be great anyway. I mean, Wyatt Reigns was my favorite match from last night. Harper Ambrose is always a classic, and the intermingling of the two matches isn't going to be anything but great.
Absolutely. I just want to say really quickly, too, that I'm grateful that Luke Harper isn't going to get lost in the shuffle. I mean, we can put him in the category with Cesaro. And, that's nothing against Tyson Kidd or Eric Rowan, but it really is relief to see that the injury of one doesn't ruin the spoils for all.
Right.
And that Luke Harper can still have a, profitable career and still be in a kind of spotlight. Because I think he's too good of a performer, too much of a gem to let go to waste. So I'm actually liking that he's running in the same pack again as Bray. This could lead to some good stuff.
Absolutely. All right, so after this match, we get the Rollins promo. And to sum it up succinctly, you all thought I was going to die, but I'm still here. Ha, 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 ha.
Your Rollins cackle is always on point. But, I feel like Rollins cut a similar promo, like, after he beat Ambrose at Money in the Bank. So I'm really glad you actually summed it up succinctly, because I really don't know what you could add. This is just Rollins again, I think, having somewhat, I know we always attribute it to Kevin Owens, but like an inferiority complex, so when he does get a victory, he feels the need to, shove it in everybody's face, which is fine. And I think Rollins does that kind of promo well. It's nothing against Rollins, but it's not exactly new, again, because I really feel like he did the same thing after he beat Ambrose in that ladder match, because the whole thing was, can you beat Dean Ambrose one-on-one? Then, of course, he gets interrupted by John Cena. Do you even really want to get into this? I think we kind of talked about it somewhat sufficiently in our opening segment being Heat of the Night. But if you have anything else you want to say, I mean, the floor is yours.
No, I'm pretty much good. I got my, I voiced my opinion in the Heat of the Night segment.
Yeah, I really have nothing else to say about it either. I don't know if this whole interaction is going to lead to a champion versus champion kind of winner-take-all sort of bout at SummerSlam. But, I mean, like Ashton said, if they are, the tone for it isn't really a great one to start out, because neither guy, I mean, whoever comes away with the victory can also be said to walk away with any kind of credibility, because, who did they beat? What did they accomplish in the grander scheme of things? But, we'll see. That's why I'm already kind of intrigued for next week's Raw, because what's the follow-up of that interruption going to be? I mean, they could totally blindside us and go with a completely different contender for Seth, especially because it seems like Kevin Owens, Rusev, and yes, even Cesaro, but we'll get to that later, don't really seem done with John Cena maybe. So definitely a cause for intrigue, and I'll give him that much. But things still remain unclear for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture as it relates to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I don't know. I really just kind of hope that this was all just kind of a tease to see how the crowd reacted, and the WWE realizes that the crowd did not react well, and they're not going to go through with it.
Right. Although I will say, for as much as John Cena did a disservice to Rollins, I think, had one of the best lines of the night. Just have to bring this up really quickly, because the crowd started their USA chant when Cena hoisted up the belt, and he's like, "Oh, shut up! You don't even know what you're chanting, okay?" And I started laughing because I'm like, "That's so true. They don't. They really don't." So kudos to at least he tried holding his own with Cena, and I give him all the credit in the world for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. I mean, here's my thing. Rollins' promo kind of got under my skin, which is a good thing because he's a heel.
Right.
Cena's promo managed to get under my skin even more, and I guarantee you that if they go forward with this, Rollins is going to end up being the babyface.
Right.
So I think that's a problem if you're WWE. So we'll see. Up next, though, we had our second Divas match of the night. Paige and Becky Lynch tag teaming to take on Naomi and Sasha Banks, with obviously Charlotte and Tamina at ringside, and then Team Bella on commentary. And this is where I realized they seriously need to stop trying to force all 9 of these women to be out here at the same time, because the Bellas on commentary equals cringe.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you say that because I did say in a preceding segment that I like that all of these women are so closely connected, and I don't want that to change. But I get your point. I mean, every good thing has a cost. In this case, it's having to hear the Bellas on commentary. Um,
Right.
didn't even really hear much of Alicia Fox. I mean, I probably would have been even more okay with it if we got less, Bella, be it Brie or Nikki, and we got more Alicia Fox, at least, balancing one of the two. But whatever. As far as the tag match goes, though, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it got a decent amount of time. Becky Lynch, making her in-ring debut on Raw, I felt like she did well. And, again, I do have to say, and as it relates to this match, all of the call-ups, were protected. And that I do appreciate because that is something I'm still a little wary about. But so far, they've been good about it. I feel like everybody got a chance to shine in this match. And the finishing sequence I thought was superbly done, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Finishing sequence I thought was perfect. Basically, Paige locks Naomi into a Scorpion crosslock. Sasha Banks kicks her out of it. This allows Naomi to toss Paige into the ropes by the throat and tag Sasha in, who hits the backcracker and rolls straight into the Banks statement, which Paige taps out to.
So, if you're keeping score at home, Sasha Banks, in an unsanctioned, segment, it wasn't a match, made the Divas champion, current Divas champion, and Nikki Bella tap out to the Banks statement. And now she's made a two-time Divas champion in Paige, who, is apparently like one of the best women on this roster in a lot of people's eyes, tap out tonight. So, yeah, Sasha be on a roll. That's beautiful.
For sure. Yeah,
Ugh.
Sasha is being just amazing. I don't even know how to put it because she is by far the best overall performer, not only in the women's division, but one of the best overall performers in the company as a whole.
Completely agree.
It's so funny
Yeah.
because, like, you just compare her to Brie Bella. You get those two women put on any match, even if you want to do versus Charlotte, since now they've both gone against Charlotte and that's a common opponent. Just watch the way that they move, and you can see how much better Sasha Banks is than Brie Bella.
Oh, absolutely.
It is incredible how staggering and visible the skill level difference is between the two.
I mean, dude, I've said it time and time again. You've even got people, Latoya Ferguson even said, and she's a big Sami Zayn mark. Like, Sami Zayn isn't the best wrestler in the world. Sasha Banks is. When you have got somebody getting that kind of respect, earning that kind of credibility in the eyes of the audience, and I'm sure among her peers as well. Sasha Banks, I think, is untouchable right now. In fact, if they keep her on this trajectory, I mean, and yeah, it's definitely the fans speaking, I think, a little bit too, but maybe it'll be her to be the next Divas champion and not Charlotte, like I've been thinking, for all this time. And I know you've been saying for even longer that you did feel like an NXT woman was probably going to be the one to end Nikki Bella's reign. Maybe it will be Sasha, and what a glorious day that would be.
Yeah, definitely.